How is everybody? Welcome to another episode of Roll Around Find Out. In today's episode, we're going to take a look at the new and very popular Dragonbane. It is a product from Free League, which if you go on there, let's do it right now. I didn't want to, but it's worth a look. Free League is just crushing it right now. I can't remember in what podcast episode I talked about, but I am always a big fan of independent and underdogs, smaller creators, just in general in real life. Like perfect examples specific to me only is the Foo Fighters. I talk about this with one of my friends. You never, ever would have got me to listen to the Foo Fighters when I was in middle school and high school. Just not going to happen. They're too popular. They're on the radio. I don't like it. And then years later, decades later, it's like, oh yeah, duh, dummy. There's a reason why they were popular. They were actually really good. And so Free League kind of falls into that category. I don't know what they started as. I don't know their first game, but they are just crushing it right now. They've got so many products churning out. High quality. I watched the Ennies, part of the Ennies, which is like the Emmys, essentially, where all sorts of role-playing game, tabletop role-playing game creators, publishers get awards, and Free League just swept the board. So here are some of their big ones. Sci-fi is Alien. Fantasy, I think this one is Dragonbane. And horror is, I'm going to guess, the one I can't really remember. Vayer? Something like that. Let's see. Vaesen? Yeah. Nordic horror role-playing. Okay, are these all their games? Oh, this is all their horror games. Okay. Alien, they just came out with a new book. I mean, look at this art. It's just, I mean, I talk about it all the time. It's just amazing. Dragonbane that we're going to talk about is also the same artist for this one. Vaesen? Not sure. And it's like, got the vibe, to me, it's got the vibe of like that one creepy kid. Not creepy even, but one like loner kid in your high school art class. It kind of has like that style. Like no one would ever necessarily hang it in a museum, but you're like, oh yeah, like this kid is depressed and he can draw. Morkborg, however you pronounce it, Murkborg. That is just, again, a runaway hit. So I just can't. My brain just tells me I can't like it. This Walking Dead. This is like the one piece of art that it is creepy and weird at the same time. I just don't like it. I don't know what's going on. And Pirate Borg, just a different setting for Morkborg, I do believe. All right, look at all these games. Mutant Year Zero. Okay, this Simba Room in my Plight interview, I said is like just absolutely gorgeous art. Just, you get the vibe when you, oh yeah, look at that. Like, amazing. Okay, I'm just gushing at this point. So as much as I love Free League, oh, look at that. What is, I need to get into this Simba Room. It's pretty expensive, and I know I'll never come to my table. But Free League is crushing it. And so if you go on YouTube right now and you search Dragonbane, it is all the new hotness. I won't go into major details, even though it is the reason for the episode. We're going to dive into the starter sets solo adventure. I've mentioned this before, like the founding principle of this podcast is for me to learn and explore solo RPGs, because my brain just really struggles with, well, how do I plan something and then be surprised about that something? Like in D&D, you don't know. The players make the choices, but the GM builds the world. And so, like, the GM's going to tell you what's behind the door in whatever scenario. But if I'm in a solo adventure and I'm building the adventure and I tell myself or I write down what is behind the door, kind of like ruins it for me. I know there are oracles that you can roll, and again, I'm learning and I'm exploring. Okay, so Dragonbane, it's got a lot going for it. Number one, shocker, is it's a roll under system. So I'm a big fan of that. Number two, I don't know why, but I am jonesing. They've got a new expansion coming out, a new bestiary, I do believe. And they've got player races in there, and you can play as a frog person, which kind of, to me, is like the guy in Chrono Trigger, which I forgot his name. But let's see. There are those. Let's go. If we go shop products, I think you can pre-order. Yeah, there it is. The bestiary. Pre-order 438 crones. And I looked it up the other day. I want to say it was like $35, which isn't bad. And then tack on shipping. I don't know if there's a picture of the frog guy. You can also play as a wolf guy, a cat. Yeah, here we go. Cat people. Brook horse. Let's see if I control F. All right. Here we go. From cat people to chimeras, fairies to frog people, hippogriffs to hydras, and much more. This bestiary for the Dragonbane role-playing game includes no less than 63 wondrous creatures. Now, these cat people here, I believe, gives, like stats. Does it have abilities here? Because if I can't, I need to look into this. If I don't get a benefit from, like, if it's just a D&D monster manual, there's no necessarily, words are hard. Like, all right, if you want to play this orc, here are your benefits. Here's how you play an orc, right? That's not a race that you can pick. But if they give you the details here, then yeah, I definitely want to be a frog person. Also, now Daggerheart. Now I'm going off on a deep tangent. Daggerheart, I don't really think I care to get invested in, but this is the Critical Role RPG they're coming out with, and yeah, I don't know if it's all animals, and this is just a gross, a gross simplification, but I don't know, is it like all furries? Join the Daggerheart playtest. A fresh take. Sign up. Let's see. Let's do a quick read. Is a new system designed for long-term fantasy campaign play with rich options. To get a closer look, sign up for the playtest. I think this one was a D6. They have another one, Candela Obscura, and this is more like a 1920s murder mystery, which is cool. Think of it kind of like Call of Cthulhu without the gothic horror, I guess. Okay, I am really going off on a tangent because I really just care about the Dragonbane solo. So, but this comes in the part of the Mirth and Mayhem boxed set. You can, and the rule book is a soft cover. I only have the quick start guide and the adventure, so I'm missing a couple pieces here. $47 is a little steep, but we'll see. Maybe I just fall in absolute love with this solo adventure. Also, I was looking at my bookshelf and I remembered I have the quick start guide for Call of Cthulhu, which I just mentioned. That has a solo adventure in it. I want to check that out. I bought it, oh geez, maybe 2 years ago, and it was really intimidating to me. Coming from D&D, it was all new stuff, just a whole new world, ecosystem, etc. But I think I've come a long way, and I bet you I could pick it up pretty fast. So we're going to see how this Dragonbane goes, because I have done zero prep. I don't even have a character sheet. I'm hoping there's a blank one here. Well, there are pre-made characters in the back, so maybe I'll use those. Another cool thing, if I can find it, if it's on here, it goes with the art, but you can play as a duck in here. Think of it kind of like Darkwing Duck. For me, it's worth looking at it. Dragonbane Duck. Yeah. Like this rogue. Let's see. Duck Assassin. Oh, that's going to be a blurry picture. But yeah, that's sweet. I like that. And I don't know what racial benefits there are, if any, to playing a duck versus playing a frog. I'm learning as we go. It was a roll under system and cheap for the parts that I wanted. So, yep, sweet. Let's check it out. All right. The adventure is here. Alone in Deep Fall Breach, a solo dungeon delving campaign for Dragonbane. So I obviously know dungeon delving, but is it really a campaign? Is this going to take a long time? I don't know. If I was good at this is kind of a spur of the moment topic. I haven't done any research, so per usual, you're going to get stumbling and fumbling here, but it's me organically learning this as we go. It's part of the process. So, alone in Deep Fall Breach, legend tells of a wicked wound in the world struck by the demon lord Sathmog's spear. Deep Fall Breach. The perilous depths of the breach plummet leagues into the foundations of the Misty Vale, which I think is the whole world that Dragonbane consists of. Comprising rough-hewn passages, echoing caverns, and ancient ruins. Only a fool would venture alone into this realm of chaos and shadow, and yet here you stand. This is a solo adventure for Dragonbane, designed for play with a single player character. No game master required. Undertake missions in Deep Fall Breach. Imagine the details of each scene and the actions of NPCs and monsters. When you must overcome danger, decide your approach and make a skill roll to see how you fare. If you're unsure what happens next or want to leave it to the whims of fate, use the included tools and tables to provide the answer. All right. Cooperative play. This adventure is also suitable for a small group of players without a GM. Work together to describe scenes and challenges. When you're unsure about a detail or the outcome of your actions, turn to the tools herein, which I'm guessing is like an oracle. Your solo player character. Alone, you will traverse the depths of the twisting caverns and crumbling ruins of Deep Fall Breach. Choose your kin, that's your race, profession, attributes, and skills with this in mind. Also consider your motivation for coming to this dreadful place. As an independent hero, you gain one additional heroic ability of your choice at the start of play. Thus, non-mage characters begin with 2 heroic abilities, and mages start with 1. Avoid any heroic abilities reliant on other player characters, focusing on ones that make your solo character more self-sufficient. If you are bringing an existing character to this adventure, swap any party-dependent heroic abilities for new heroic abilities 1-for-1. 2 new heroic abilities for solo characters are included to the right. These may be selected during character creation or when earning a heroic ability through play. Okay. Examples: Army of One. When fighting alone, draw 2 initiative cards and keep both. You have 2 turns each round. Okay, shame on me. That's one of the pieces I don't have are initiative cards. I'm going to just roll the dice. Heroic ability, Soul Survivor. When adventuring alone, you may push a roll without suffering a condition. Excuse me. So pushing a roll, I know, is basically advantage, roll again, take the higher roll, but then you gain a condition, which kind of is like exhaustion. Willpower points, those are, in my brief reading of my quick start guide, it kind of spawned a whole thing on my Yahtzee D&D or Yahtzee RPG game where you could earn points to spend them on different actions, which I thought was pretty cool. Okay. All right, we got a lot going on here. I should have printed this off, but then you'd be hearing a lot of paper turning. Okay. The fortune chart. What cruel twists or unexpected boons await you in the breach? Boons, banes and boons. Banes are rolling a 20 because you don't want that, and a boon is rolling a 1 because you do want that. When you have a question about the nature of a situation, one you would normally ask a GM, use the fortune chart below to derive your answer. First, consider the framing of the question. Is it a yes, no? Is it a number, scale, power, quality, and reaction? Ask your question, roll a d6, and check the result using an appropriate column of the chart. All right. Ooh. This is getting jumpy. No bueno. Okay. Tilting the scales. The default fortune roll assumes all results are equally possible, but you can put your thumb on the scales of fate to better reflect the current situation. If no, negative, or low impact result is likely, roll 2d6 and take the lowest. If a yes, positive or high impact result is likely, roll 2d6 and take the highest. Right? So you basically give yourself advantage or disadvantage. I've talked about this before, but I really need to do some different kind of setup because my microphone is directly in line of sight with what I'm trying to read here. Keep it simple. To answer the questions without consulting the table, interpret a roll of 1 to 3 as a no, negative, or lower scope, 4 to 6 as yes, positive, or greater scope. 1 or 6 indicates an extreme result or interesting twist. Okay. Keep it moving. Oh, the fortune chart is here. Okay. Is it yes, no? Is it a number? Scale? Let me go over power. How potent is the spell? Quality. What is the value of the gem? Reaction. What is the goblin's demeanor? Okay. So I think it's probably something I'll be using quite often. Inspiration table. Use the inspiration table on the next page to reveal details when asking an open-ended question about a location or situation. Roll on a single column for the answer or roll on multiple columns to build a phrase. The resulting prompt might be taken literally or interpreted to fit the context. It is tough to decipher. Roll or pick an answer. See, that's kind of like, oh, you just picking your answer? Like, I don't know. Maybe solo play is not for me. The very, very first episode I did was Alone in the Dark. and that was a journaling solo RPG game, and that is different. You're not making things up. You just, for that one, it was a deck of cards. You draw a deck of cards and then you journal about whatever the topic was. But if I'm like, how many skeletons are behind the door, maybe I even have to say, like, well, what creature's behind there? And then I have to roll, and it's a teeny tiny little fuzzy skeleton. What? That doesn't, yeah. But that's why I'm doing this. I'm learning. Maybe it's the best thing ever. Maybe I'll never, ever play a tabletop game with a real person ever again. Maybe solo is superior. Okay. Dragon and demon effects. This is rolling your 1 in 20. Managing NPCs and monsters. When you aren't sure of the intent or actions of the other characters, ask a question using the fortune chart. For an open-ended question relating to a character's goal or nature, use the inspiration table. Oh, you know what? I was wrong. Dragon and demon effects. I think I was right, but I'll read it because I'm known to just not read, just like yada yada yada. Right? Dragon and demon effects. Rolling a dragon or demon should add to your success or failure. Outside of combat, use the tables on the next page to inspire the effect. While in combat, use the dragon demon effects as described in the rulebook. Another option for resolving the impact of a dragon or demon is to apply a boon or bane to a related following action. Okay, which I did say that. All right. When an NPC makes a skill roll or attribute, you roll for them. Limit these rolls to those affecting your character directly. To set NPC stats, use an entry from the rulebook or the adventures book. You can also use the simple NPC templates to the right. Okay, that's the template. Sure. All right, got it. NPC attack table. Choose an NPC's role: melee attacker, ranged attacker, sneaky attacker, or magic attacker, and use the table to decide what they do on their turn. Unlike the monster attack tables, these actions do not automatically succeed unless noted. It is, if a skill roll is required, make the roll for that NPC. The magic attacker role abstracts spells and ignores WP, willpower. For more complex magic wielding NPC, make them a standard character with will points, magic schools, and spells. Okay, so D6. 1, 2, 3. Deal a blow, take a shot, cunning strike, magic bolt. These are different. Okay, these are the different types of attackers. 1 to 3 is this. 4 is that. 5 is that. 6 is that. Okay, got it. Surviving solo play. In solo play, you decide the consequences of failure. Consider the situation and introduce an outcome which creates new complications or hardships, but does not block the way forward. For example, you make a persuasion roll to gain the cooperation of the leader of an orc clan and fail. The orc does not flatly refuse, rather they insist you must first face them in a duel to prove your mettle. Or you make a sleight of hand roll to pick the lock on a door and to pick the lock on a door that blocks your way and fail. The door is unlocked, but you trigger a trap. Okay, you make an acrobatics roll to leap across the gap in a broken bridge and fall. You do not fall to your death. Instead, you drop your prized sword into the darkness. Okay, I was just very pessimistic, but I see the value in this, in being creative, in being and having like a quick response, what's the word I'm looking for? Improv, more or less. Being able to have a situation and on the spot come up with how you would handle it. All right. If you're unsure of resolving a failure, think of 2 possible outcomes and roll a d6 to decide which occurs. All right. Guess that makes sense. Per the situation, I come up with, well, either this happens or this happens. Combat is a notable exception. Some attacks simply miss. This failure is momentary and the fight continues. Forced into a fight. Oh, no. My microphone is in the way. You know what? I'm going to. While just right now, I'm not going to edit it out. That would just make too much sense. I'm going to raise up my laptop over the microphone, but it makes typing now a problem, but we shall see. Facing combat. Combat is tough for a solo adventurer. Avoid combat through negotiations, guile, or subterfuge if possible. When forced into a fight, use special attacks and heroic abilities to your advantage. If you gain the upper hand through tactics or terrain, award your character with a boon. If all else fails and the fight turns against you, flee. Suffering damage. If you suffer harm in your adventure and aren't sure of the severity, choose or roll on the table below. A d6, 2d6, or 2d10. Healing. As a stalwart solo adventurer, you may make a healing roll to tend your wounds during a stretch rest. On a success, heal 2d6. Attempt to rally yourself while at 0 hit points without a bane to the persuasion roll. Attempt to save your own life with a healing roll while at 0. All right. Heal yourself while you're resting. You're at 0 hit points. Option 2, attempt to rally yourself while at 0 hit points. While you're unconscious, get yourself ready. Just think of like any heroic movie where the hero gets his bell rung and then he gets a flashback of some I'm thinking like Rocky on the beach. Rocky gets his bell rung and then he's thinking about him and Apollo having some montage on the beach. I was looking for a different word there, but that is what I got. Or just straight up try to save with a healing roll. Interesting. Okay. The Chapel and the Wolf. This might be the beginning of the story. Let's see. I think it is. Let me pick my character first. In my quick starter guide, I want to be the rogue, but I don't know if he's in here. Nope. Okay, so I will be a wolf creature. Baston Bloodjaw. Let's see if I can pull up a picture of that. Bastion Bloodjaw. Bastion Bloodjaw. Cool looking. Oh yeah, Free League. There he is. Cool. I have come from the northern wastelands in search of work, joy, and the finer things in life. Tired of your people's tribal feuds, you dreamed of something bigger and traveled south. There you worked as a mercenary, gladiator, caravan escort, and guardsman. Before banding together with a company of adventurers, you are now on your way to the Misty Vale. enticed by rumors of demons, monsters, and mighty foes. Okay. I will tell you that I am confused, but we will do our best, right? I'm a teacher, and so that's what I tell my students. Just do your best. The Chapel and the Wolf. The nameless chapel stands at the edge of Deep Fall Breach. The mortared stones of the structure have stood fast against time, wind, and calamity, but its stained glass windows lie scattered in shards, and the heavy oaken doors hang loose and creaking on ancient hinges. You are caught amid a torrential rain, so you slip inside, eager to escape both the downpour and the baleful red glow emanating from the depths of the breach. Inside, the chapel casts a shadow of itself. Rotting pews, piles of refuse, tattered tapestries depicting battles long forgotten. Candles lend their meager glow in flickering clusters, while fragrant smoke curls from incense burners. Maze-like etchings litter a large desk occupying the far wall. Let me zoom in here if I can. Need glasses. Maddening, aren't they? The gruff, weathered voice precedes a hunched form dislodging itself from the shadows. Silver streaks the coal black fur of Wolfkin draped in ratty robes. He leans on a wicked-looking two-handed mace topped with a clenched steel fist. Numerous scars mark the Wolfkin's lupine visage, with a stone sphere replacing his left eye. Oh, I'm not the same guy, am I? The breach, he continues, nodding toward the desk littered with labyrinthine maps. Impossible to map with any accuracy. He introduces himself as Stone Gaze, though he also supplies his true name, Ingolfer. The name is not unknown to you, but the Ingolfer of whom you've heard tell is a fearsome warrior and famed hunter of demons, not an old hermit priest. Have ye come to delve the breach? He asks. There's good to be done, justice to be dealt, and riches to be uncovered, if ye've the mettle for it. Right? I've come seeking adventure, treasure. I've been a guard, escort. These are small jobs. I'm looking to do more with my life. Here's Ingolfer Stone Gaze's stat blocks. Stonegaze has not always stood vigil over Deepfall Breach. Once he was Ingolfer, a tenacious hunter of demonkind whose great mace, Fiend Breaker, felled scores of lesser demons. Ingolfer's unending crusade brought him to the Misty Vale, where he resides within a nameless, abandoned chapel and keeps watch over Deepfall Breach with his enchanted eye. Your missions. A mission encompasses the unique goal, threats, and environs of each journey into the breach. Now I'm getting a little confused, me personally, because I'm in the process of watching and listening a Let's Play for Mothership. Oh, not called The Breach, just called The Deep. Yes, there we go. Okay, I'm like, it sounds a lot like the Mothership thing. From a, what it's the Mothership with the Deep? Shoot. Gradient Descent, got it. Highly suggest you check that out. If you're coming to this episode, you haven't listened to any other ones, I mean, Mothership's easily my favorite. It's my favorite game of all time. And I don't know if it will ever be beat. So, okay. Stone Gaze supplies your missions. His enchanted sight pierces the stone of the rift, allowing him to discern the dazzling depths. His scrawled maps and notes guide through waypoints and warn of potential dangers, but much of the route will be shrouded to even his uncanny vision. All right. Into the breach. You descend a crumbling staircase into the. I just show up. It's raining. It's pouring. This guy just happens to be here, and he says, "Have ye come to delve the breach? There's good to be done, justice to be dealt, and riches to be uncovered, if ye've the mettle for it." So I imagine before, maybe this is part of the solo play, before I probably take some rest, ask for some sort of drink, bread, keep me going, or give me a good rest. Yeah. And probably not asking too many questions, because even though if this guy is famous, I don't want to ruffle any feathers. Maybe some smaller chit chat about his maps and what's going on down there, enough to give me the encouragement to say, yeah, I guess this is, my destination. I guess this is what I'm gonna go adventure and find. All right. You descend a crumbling staircase into the chasm, braving the dizzying heights. A twisting corridor leads from the cliff face into the heart of the breach, emerging into what Engulfer called the Vault of Many Paths. Here lies a great, confounding hub of passages branching from an ancient spherical chamber. Its walls embossed with primordial battlefields depicting dragons and demons clashing eternally in stark relief. Innumerable tunnels run from the vault like veins through the stone flesh of the earth. You steel yourself against the perils to come. Take a moment to study the notes and maps provided by Ingolfer and step forward. Beyond lies your path for this mission. All right. In the breach. Navigating waypoints. Play out missions within the breach by focusing on key locations, dangers, or encounters. These points of interest are your waypoints. Some waypoints are described by Engulfer in his rundown of a mission, while others remain a mystery until you investigate them. A waypoint might detail a single notable space or passageway, or describe a larger section of the breach. For each mission, progress through the waypoints in order described in the mission summary. Imagine your approach, the details of the area, the dangers you face, and the opportunities you uncover. Resolve any questions or challenges at a waypoint before proceeding to the next. If a waypoint is unknown, or you want additional detail, use the fortune chart, inspiration table, or exploration tables to reveal what you find. The places and passages between waypoints offer nothing of note and can be ignored or summarized. Just today I was reading an article on making travel more engaging, more fun, and my current go-to... Excuse me. Just take this as a sign. My current go-to is hexing an entire world map based on the region, having a pool of things that can happen thanks to ChatGPT. I mean, give me 50 things that can happen in a desert while traveling for a D&D adventure, right? And I'm going to get 50 average to above average ideas. But here it basically says, you know what, you're here for the action. Don't even bother the travel. Which in the article I read, which I think was from the website The Angry DM, he said that's totally fine too. If that's how you want to run your game and you just fast travel everywhere, like there's nothing wrong with that. That's just a different way to do it. And so that's kind of what they've got going on here, these little waypoints. It says since your expeditions into the breach are abstracted, you don't need a map. However, a simple outline or flow chart of waypoints marking down important events or findings will prove helpful. So I'll grab some paper here. If you flee a fight or are forced into a new path, introduce an extra waypoint to represent the unexpected diversion. Thus, your journey through the breach is made more dangerous and complex. Resolve this waypoint before returning to the mission's path. The final waypoint is your objective. This is where the fate of the mission is decided. Okay. I think the purpose of like a 5-room dungeon is to drain your players of resources. If they're smart, they had to travel to get there and they, cross their barriers, they're overcome their issues, combats, etc. But, hopefully they're camping out right outside if it's safe. And they're going into a dungeon, fully stocked up and ready to rock. So the first couple of rooms is to, any number of rooms, but is to drain some of those resources. That's what traps are made for. They're just there to drain your hit points. Okay. Mission threats. Oops. A threat represents a looming danger, such as an environmental hazard, pursuing a foe, or time limit. Each mission summary includes a description of a threat, and you can introduce a new threat in the midst of the expedition if you learn of an imminent peril. Okay. To track a threat, use a d6 as a counter starting at 1. If you suffer a significant delay or create an opening for the threat through inaction or failure, rotate the die to advance the threat by 1. I like this. In dire situations such as when rolling a demon on a time-sensitive task, advance the threat by 2. Ooh, I really like that. In my campaigns that I've run, I will often use a real-world timer, and I find that to be very beneficial as well. Gets players to come up with a decision and act rather than hemming and hawing. When the threat advances to 6, the event comes to pass. You must face this danger or complication head-on. If the threat is inherent to the mission or the nature of the region you are exploring, it should reset to 1. If not, remove it from play. Okay. To keep the pressure on, maintain an active threat whenever delving into the breach. If you want inspiration for a random threat, use the table below, which I definitely will. 1. A dreadful creature has your scent. When the threat triggers, it attacks. I won't go over all those. Okay. Leaving the breach. If the path back to the chapel is clear, you may retreat from the breach without incident. If the way is fraught with dangers, roll awareness or sneaking to see how you fare. If you fail, you must first overcome a danger, such as an ambush or environmental peril, at one of your previous waypoints. If you're not sure what you encounter, roll on a table for inspiration. Any table. Find a table of creatures, I guess, and that's what happens. If making a direct return trip is impossible or foolhardy, find a different route among the breach's many paths. Roll d4 plus 2 to set the number of waypoints you must traverse to reach the surface, and generate those locations using the procedures described on page 8. All right, I don't understand that. If there's only 3 waypoints and you want to leave, all of a sudden there has to be, D4 plus 2? If making a return trip is impossible or foolhardily, find a different route among the breach's many paths. Oh, so you got to make a new path to come back because it's just caverns everywhere, like a plate of spaghetti. All right. Let's see. Gaining experience, I'll read that later. Taking a break. If you want to resupply, upgrade your gear, or socialize with someone other than Ingolf, the village of Outskirt is a short journey from the chapel. All right, good to know. Ooh, generate custom missions. This adventure includes summaries for key missions, but those are not the only forays into the breach. Craft your own missions using this procedure. All right, well, I'm not going to do that right now. All right, exploration tables. Use the location table to help reveal the nature of waypoints within the breach. If some aspects of a waypoint are known to you, these tables can help fill any gaps. All right, I don't know what to do. So we have a table for location details, which could be contents, environment, oddity, or danger. Inhabitants, who's in the room. Subtables for contents, environment, oddity, and danger. Scavenging tables. Searching tables, traps. Okay, I think we're getting mission summaries. Okay. The captive orc. All right, that's something I could do. The cultists warren. All right, we're almost out of pages. The soul tree and the orc's forge. Well, let's just go in numerical order. Okay. So, beyond the breach. All right. So, looking at this here, kind of bouncing around, it looks like one column is all you need for an adventure. Interesting. This is kind of like the bottom quarter of a page. And then when I go up here without it jumping around, there's must be 5 waypoints. And these are unknown. So, okay, when there's an unknown waypoint, what happens? Navigating waypoints. Leaving the breach, taking a break. Gaining experience. You don't need a map. Simple outline or flow. Custom missions. All right, well, I will figure out what those mean because that seems pretty important. Now, I don't know how you make this any more beginner friendly, but again, nobody has taught me how to do solo role playing. I'm teaching myself. There's a great guy on YouTube, Me, Myself, and Die. I can't get into him and sit and watch him, but he's got tons of videos on how to do solo role play. And maybe it's just time that I bite the bullet and watch how he does it. This is probably a bad example, but it's what popped in my random brain. Imagine you're 5 years old, 4 or 5 years old, and somebody gives you a box of crayons. All right, and then somebody says, "Give me the cinnamon colored one." Right? Well, is it red? Is it brown? You just got this box of crayons. You don't you don't really know all the colors. So like I'm looking at all the rules here, and specifically, again, this is jumping around. So maybe I didn't read everything. God, that's pissing me off. I don't like to swear, but it's jumping from like 1-page spread to 2-page spread. Okay, so here is just a 1. And then it goes up here to a 5. Okay, are those the waypoints? I don't know. Search table? Why is it not labeled to say that these are the waypoints? Again, maybe I guess I just have to read it. More than one occasion I've screwed that up. But, all right, let's see. Oh my god, it's making me very upset. I gotta print this off. Even then, I don't know how helpful it would be. Actually, it would be more helpful than what's happening right now. Okay, I'm gonna go through these in order, and then maybe make a custom one. Mission summaries. The Reforged Shard. Number 1, the Captive Orc. The leader of a sect of demon cultists holds the World Breaker Shard, the tip of the abyssal spear that split this land and created the breach. This power cannot stay in their grasp. Foul magics cloud their location from my sight, so ye must locate the shard through other means. Seek below a band of cultists transporting a prisoner, an orc named Gorum. Gorum knows the location of the cultists' outpost and may serve as a valuable ally in the days to come. Okay. So, let's see. Threat. A trio of goblin scouts plunder the breach, looting ancient crypts and robbing any who wander across their paths. When the threat triggers, they spring an ambush. Let's see. Okay. So just learning. The Cultist Warren. This goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That goes to 6. This threat goes to at least 8. So, Jesus, this is... I'm not scavenging. I don't care about inhabitants yet. All right, these threats. Mission threats. A threat represents a looming danger, such as an environmental hazard, pursuing foe, or time limit. Each mission summary includes a description of a threat, and you can introduce a new threat in the midst of an expedition if you learn of an imminent peril. Okay, so these are threats. I kind of already knew that. To track a threat, use a D6 as a counter starting at 1. So let me grab a D6. Okay. Starting at 1. If you suffer a significant delay or create an opening for the threat through inaction or failure, rotate the die to advance the threat by 1. In dire situations such as when rolling a demon. All right, I don't have that. Since the dangers of the breach do not wait, you should also advance the threat if you divert from your mission for activities such as searching an area or resting. When the threat advances to 6, the event comes to pass. You must face this danger. To keep the pressure on, maintain an active threat when delving into the breach. If you want inspiration for a random threat, choose the table below. Okay, so again, I go back here. There are 5. How do I roll? Oh my god, it's so annoying. How do I roll a 5? Is it a D10 divided by 2? This one goes up to 6, so that's obviously a D6. This one goes to 8, so I guess that could be a D8. This one's 7, so I don't know how you get to 7. This one goes to 7. All right. Then I am confused. Let's do some more investigating. Okay. So I think I kind of sort of know what's going on here. These stories, let's get this out of the way here. The Reforged Shard. 1, the Captive Orc, okay? And then I have these threats, and they go 1, 2, 3, 4. I believe when I make it to, what do they call it before? A waypoint, then I have to roll on the area table. Or no. The location details. And it's either contents, environment, oddity, or danger. And then that's this table. Contents, environment, oddity, or danger. I don't know when there would be people, inhabitants, or this area table, or when to scavenge. So, let's see. Various factions people dwell within or wander. Choose or roll on the table below to add detail to a mission. Learn the nature of an inhabited waypoint. An inhabited waypoint. Okay, well, how do I know if it's inhabited? Broken path. Oh, inhabited layer. Okay, all right. I think I got it. I think... Oh, let me get this... Okay, hang on. And this dumb thing, can I just delete... Oh, what is this? Can I delete you? No. It's in my way. Okay. Locations. Use the location tables to help reveal the nature of waypoints within the breach. If some aspects of a waypoint are known to you, these tables can help fill in any gaps. In a waypoint is unknown, you can generate a location randomly through this procedure. Okay. I understand. I got my notes. I am ready to rock. Not quite sure how combat's going to work, but I at least got the procedures for this. Let's see if we can get a couple of these done. All right, so threat. A trio of goblin scouts plunder the breach, looting ancient crypts and robbing any who wander across their path. When the threat triggers, they spring an ambush. Okay. That's right. Okay, I'm not ready. I forget. When the things trigger. Mission threats. A threat represents a looming danger, such as an environmental hazard, pursuing of a foe, or time limit. Each mission summary includes a description of a threat, and you can introduce a new threat in the midst of an expedition if you learn of imminent peril. To track a threat, use a D6 counter, starting at 1. If you suffer a significant delay or create an opening for the threat through inaction or failure, rotate the die. Okay, so since the dangers of the breach do not wait, you should also advance the threat if you divert from your mission. When the threat advances to 6, okay, so I'm at, okay, threat. I feel like some threat level 1. Okay, got it. Okay, so plunging a path, sloping corridor carries you into the oppressive depths of the breach. Tread softly, yeast ye wake the creatures of fang and wing nesting within the cracks and hollows of this ancient passage. All right, so I'm going to go up to my table here, and I'm going to roll... I'm going to get my digital roller out. Google Roll Dice. It's the only dice roller you ever need. All right, a D4. Location details 1. Contents. All right. A 9. A foul nest. Okay, area 1. A foul nest. Is that all I get to know? No environment? I can just flesh it out if I want. Then roll a d4 that many times in the... Roll a d20 on the area table below. What? Why is it? Okay. If you're listening to this, you're probably like, you are an idiot, Heath, and you are correct. Okay, roll a 20. Roll 20. 5. A confounding maze. All right, I am in a confounding maze. Roll a d20 on the area table to learn the type of zone, chamber, or passage you are entering. Okay, I'm in a confounding maze. All right, I understand now. Got it. Okay. Roll a d4, then roll a d4 that many times on the location details table below to choose which subtables will flesh out the area. Okay, so I'm going to roll a d4, and I have a 2. All right, hang on. Okay, so sorry, I had a phone call. I'm in a confounding maze with a foul nest, and I rolled a 2. Kind of crossing over into 2 different rolls I made here, and it is chillingly cold. Chillingly cold. Writing that down. All right. I don't know anything else about it. So while I'm here, I'm looking for treasure, so I guess I'm scavenging. When you ransack a cache of abandoned supplies, dig through the nest of a slain creature. Oh, okay. When you ransack a cache of abandoned supplies, dig through the nest of a slain creature, examine the gear of a fallen enemy, or otherwise scrounge for loot. The scavenge table to the right can reveal what you find. Okay, so I might do that. Search. When you carefully inspect an area for hidden doors, concealed mechanisms, or other secrets, roll Spot Hidden. Take the time to search is risky. It requires a stretch, and any active threats advance. Okay, so that would be like turning my dice, my threat dice. It requires resolve the spot hidden as follows. I'm in the maze. I don't know the oddity or the danger. I could scavenge, but that doesn't seem to make sense to me. So let's search. So me searching will up my threat dice to 2. And I'll roll a d10. which gives me a 9. Hidden Vault, 2 treasure cards, and roll again. All right, well, I don't have treasure cards, so let me figure something out for that. But I'll roll again. A 6. Hidden Treasure, 1 treasure card. All right, I have 3 treasure cards. So, let's do my boy ChatGPT. Give me 3 treasure items for a low-level D&D adventurer. Adventurer? That looks right. Amulet of Healing Touch. Gloves of Dexterity. Ever-Burning Torch. Oh, okay. Wow. So I'll write these down. Once per day. All right. Healing. Amulet. Dex gloves. And a forever torch. All right. Well, that's going to keep me warm. I guess that works. Okay. Onward, as they say. Next room. Oh, you know what? I want to... Okay, I'm learning. Feel free to say, hey, Heath, you're an idiot. A sloping corridor carries you into oppressive depths of the breach. Tread softly. I want to make a roll to see if I spook anything up. And I'll do that... Okay, I'll do that after I got the treasure items. When I was rummaging, I stir it up. So, looking under my skills, we'll say that's probably sneaking, and it's a 5. So I'm going to roll my 20 and get a 2. Sweet. Okay, so success. I got 3 magic items. I'll take it. All right, next room. Charred Tomb. Fire long ago ravaged this once grand mausoleum. It holds 5 remaining sarcophagi amid piles of ash. Find ye a path through a door hidden within one of these coffins, but disturb not the scorched dead, nor the hidden trap. Okay. So... let's go to this table where it's the area table. And here I roll a d20. And I have a 4. Claustrophobic crawl space. You know what? Does it give me a good description here? Okay, I'm going to use this as the area, the Charred Tomb. Okay. I'm going to roll my d4. Another 2. So it is a bloody trail. Roll d4, then roll d4 that many times. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay. Nope, not a bloody trail. Cross out. I rolled a 2, so then I'm going to roll a d20. And it is... the contents. Oh, that's the tomb. Okay, so I don't need to do that. So I'm going to roll again. I'm all over the place, I know. A 15 for my environment is ragged scratches. Ooh, I guess that kind of fits. Ragged scratches. And I have... How many was it? 5? 5 sarcophagi amid piles of ash. Find ye a path through a door hidden within one of these coffins, but disturb not the scorched dead nor the hidden trap. Okay, so I don't know if I'm doing this right, but I'm gonna put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm gonna roll a d10. 6, and so that would be 3. Okay, the door is 3. All right, but this is me having to play double duty. I don't know that. Okay. So then, what do I care? A path through the hidden door with one of these coffins, but disturb not the scorched dead, nor the hidden trap. Okay, so one of these is a trap. So let's roll my d10. The second one is the trap. And 1, 4, and 5 are skeletons. Okay, so I will roll my d10 and see what I get. An 8, which is 4, which is skeletons. All right, skeletons come out. Let's go. Probably 1 skeleton is going to come out. Okay. Now, I don't know. You would think it would be in here, but what are skeleton stats? Right? No idea. Let me check my quick start guide. There's like example players. No, I don't know. So, maybe that's shame on me for not having it. Let's see if I can get lucky and search Dragonbane skeletons. Dragonbane rule book bestiary skeleton. All right, let's see if I can quickly find a stat block. Oh, sure can right there. Okay, who is this guy? Let's shout this guy out. Mr. Dragonbane, 8 months ago. All right, sweet. Okay, well, I'm going to just completely fail through this, but that's okay. So, initiative. We'll have the skeleton go first and get a 10, and I got a 7. Okay, skeleton's going to go first. He is going to use his typical weapon for a d10 of damage. He's going to hit me for 3, and my hit points are... Well, I have 2 for armor. Oh, there's hit points. Okay, I have 17. So he hit me for 3. I subtract 2, so I'm at 1. All right. I have my long spear. Now I'm going to attempt to hit him. Rolling under my... Yeah, with a 4, that's going to hit. So then 2d8... is 14 damage. All right, what are his hit points at? Damn, typical armor, studded leather, HP 8. Oh, sweet, yeah. Sweet, he came out, I blasted him. And I just started blasting. Danny DeVito. Sweet. Thanks, Dragonbane, dude. Okay, so down skeleton 4. Got him. All right, I'm not going to scavenge right now, but I will roll my D10 and get a 4. Okay, I already went through that one. Roll it again. A 7. Shoot. How do odds work? 5. I wish I was smart, you know? How does D5 work? D5 dice work. D&D dice show results for D5. I don't want that. Okay, hang on. D10 as a D5. Let's see if I can get a chart because I'm just not smart. Well, okay, let's figure it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 7 is a 4. Okay, already got that one. Okay, roll. 10 is a 5. That's another skeleton. Okay, so I'm going to roll 18 initiative for the skeleton. 8 tied for me. Okay, let's go 13 for the skeleton. 2 for me. So I'm going to go first. And I will roll to hit. I hit, and my damage is 10. All right, get that skeleton too. All right. I will plunder later. Roll. 3 is a 2. All right, I sprung the trap. So let's go back here to the traps. Traps. All right, roll a d20. 16. Teleporting sigil. A new waypoint. Oh, bummer. So I should have looted those things because now I'm gone. Okay. I'm gonna tick my threat up. And now I'm in a new place. Okay. You should see my notes. It's like atrocious. Okay, well then let's roll here a d4 for my location. Oh no, area table. Okay, 2. I rolled a 2. All right, I'm in an ancient tomb. All right, and then roll my d4. Another 2. All right. Roll this 2 times then. A d20 is 15. It's a... Oh, I don't care about... What is the difference between area and contents? Like, it's supposed to be what's inside of it, I guess. Okay. 15. A remote encampment. Okay, so I guess there's people that live here. Ancient tomb. Remote encampment. Roll my d20 to see what else. A 5. Corroded surfaces. And okay, I'll roll. It's an encampment, so I will roll for inhabitants. 6. There are orcs. All right, that seems to be like almost a primary one. And it's okay because I'm on a mission called the Captive Orc. All right. All right. Okay, coming together. I show up here. I just teleport. I just randomly show up, right? They're not expecting me. That's no good. I'm not searching. I already did trap. I'm not scavenging. All right, so I will I guess do some role playing here. Let's see how many how many orcs are there? Okay, let's roll. It's a remote one, so I would say 10 at most. So I'll roll a d10. And there are 4 orcs here. All right, so I just randomly show up. I don't know if they speak orc. I'm a wolf creature. I say I'm down here in the breach looking for treasure. I'm on a mission to find a lost orc. Let's see, using my skills. Persuasion? No, not persuading them to do anything. I'm not bluffing. Let's do a language check, I guess, to see if they can understand what I'm saying. Ooh, it's exactly a 5, and my skill is 5. In D&D, it's meets it, beats it, so that's how I'm going to do it. And this strikes me as a game that is how that works. So they can understand what I'm saying, so that's good. Let's go... Let's go performance, and that's even worse. That's a 4. The odds are not in my favor. 9. Okay, so they don't believe me. Then let's see. Suffering damage. You make a persuasion roll to gain cooperation. Okay, well, I used performance, but it's the same number, so I failed. The orc does not flatly refuse. You make a persuasion roll to gain the cooperation of the leader of an orc clan and fail. The orc does not flatly refuse. Rather, they insist you must first face them in a duel to provide your medal. You make a sleight of hand roll to pick the lock of a door. Okay, these are examples. NPC attack table. Oh, okay, melee attacker. You know what? Reading this thing explains it. Okay, so let's see here. All right, a melee attacker. Orc is going to challenge me to a duel and use his intimidating rage. I roll against my will, and my will is... My will is... Oh, up top. 13. Okay. 8. All right, I make the will check. So, they see that I'm not scared of them. Let me go and do another persuasion roll, which is okay. So I rolled a dragon. So I'm gonna say that one of them came up and hit me from behind and is gonna deal me double damage. So let's go. Suffering damages on here. Let's go. Roll my d6. Oops, I don't have a 6 on here. 6. Okay, I rolled a 4. So they're going to deal me 2d6 of damage. And then we'll double it. Okay, let's roll. 7. 14. Okay, and I already took 3. I wrote down 1, but that's because I'm an idiot. I don't think that's right. I'm going to say I took 2. I know I saved 2. I don't remember what the skeleton hit me for. I'm bad at this game, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so... You know what? I think I am knocked out. Okay, so I'm knocked out. And these orcs are going to take me back and just tie me up. So I'll make some death saves here. All right, 5's a save. 1. All right, I'm back up. That's a dragon. All right, I'm back up. Since I got knocked out, I'm going to be at a 4 on my threat dice. I'm glad I'm not forgetting to do that. Okay. Then let's roll. All right, I won't roll. I'll say I've shown no will to attack them. I was snuck up on, and I resisted the intimidating rage, which should have been good enough, but I'm choosing to make it more difficult for me. So they see how tough and strong I am and that I'm not giving up. So they will cooperate with me, and they will give me 1 orc to come with me to find, we'll say, an orc that we'll say is part of their rogue encampment. Maybe he's like the newest member, and maybe he's not really well liked, but it's kind of odd that I just showed up and knew this orc that was missing. So yeah, let's go with that. Okay, so now I'm on room 4. Let's see, room 4, I think, was unknown. Yep. So I had 1, 2, 3. I was just in. Now I need another 3 because it added a room. Okay. So I don't know anything, so let's go up, and I'm getting the hang of it, ish, kind of, sort of. Roll on the area table, because this is totally unknown. So it is a narrow staircase. Narrow stairs. Roll my d4. A 3. Sweet. Okay, so that means that in this narrow staircase, there is a sealed antechamber. There is glowing crystals. And there is a flourishing tree. This is funny. Scavenging, searching. It says unknown, so let's do I want to search? Because I don't want a treasure on here. I already found an antechamber. A hidden vault. I do want like a foe though. Okay, so let's roll. I'm gonna search. When I search, let's see what comes up. An 8. A hidden treasure. All right, I don't really want to do that, but tell you what, I will give it to my friend, my orc friend. Give me 1 more. A small leather satchel adorned with mystical symbols. When worn, this satchel grants the wearer 10-foot bonus to their movement speed. All right. So again, I got a fast orc with me. Okay, I am progressing in the right path, so I don't think I have to roll on the dice, the threat dice. So let me confirm that. Threat. If you suffer a significant delay or creature or create an opening for the threat through inaction or failure. Nope. Okay. So now I am on the actual 4, which was another unknown one. All right. Roll my area table. It is a 9 for a forgotten library. Okay. And this library is a 2, of course, which means in this library there is another sealed antechamber and dripping water. Okay. I will roll on my strength with advantage because I have an orc to see if we can break through this antechamber. My stats are so high, but my skills are so low. So what do my... Oh yeah, that's right. I can push rolls too. That's a mechanic. I'm going to give myself advantage because I have the orc. No, I can't do it. Okay, so I'm going to tick up the threat dice. I wasted time not doing anything. It's at a 5. And then I will... Let's see. Searching will... when you carefully inspect an area for hidden doors, concealed mechanisms, or other secrets, roll Spot Hidden. Taking the time to search is risky, requires a stretch and an active threat advance. All right, I guess I don't have the time. I'm hearing these things following us, and we gotta save the orc. Okay, so we are in the last room. Let's see what we got. The cultists take refuge here with their prisoner. My sight cannot glean their aims, but the blood-stained altar at the center of this chamber has seen countless deaths at the hands of those seeking parley with demonic forces. But I sense fear, hesitation in these cultists. They'll not die needlessly for their cause, I suspect. Free Gorham from their clutches. Okay. Well, I have a long spear and a short spear. I'm going to throw my short spear at one of them without them knowing. And I roll a 17, which my spear is a 14. So that's going to miss. So shoot. So they see it. The orc that's with me looks at me, obviously freaking pissed, but he's going to roll in. How many cultists are there? Let's roll a d6, and there are 5. All right, the orc is going to use his fast speed to roll in. Not really doing initiative here, and he's going to hit, and we'll say he's got a big old cleaver, which I don't know what the damage is, but let's say it's a d10. He's going to deal 4, and I don't know what cultist damage is. Let's say skeleton was 10, I think. Do I still have that up? I think I closed out of it. Shame. Let's say... Oh, wait, hang on. What did this say? NPC attack table. Suffering damage. Treasure deck. Okay, here's minion. So their hit point is 12. Okay, so that's what I said. All right, sweet. And so let's do 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he's going to hit for 6. So we're at 6 on this guy. Okay. So then let's roll 2d6. So they're going to gang up on him because he's closer. So we've got the orc. If I'm at 13... Oh, yeah, I never healed up. Shoot. Okay, retroactively, the orcs heal me up. I'm back to full. They gave me some potion. I'm at 17. Let's say he's at... I don't want to go too crazy. We'll say 30. Not quite. That sounds like a lot, I guess. Let's say 25. Okay, he's at 25, and I'm at 17. So he's going to take 8. All right, so now he's down to 17. He's going to take another 7. Down to 10. And then two are scrambling with was it Garum? Okay. So now I'm gonna run into the fight. I'm gonna take my spear and hit, and that is 2d8, and I'm gonna hit for 13, killing one of them. All right. This one cultist is up, and he's going to crit hit. And hit for... Oh, sweet. Only 8. So he's at 2. All right. Then my orc friend is going to hit and get a dragon and miss. I'm going to get this cultist with a 5 and hit him for a 9. So he's still kicking. Cultist is up. Going to hit... my orc friend and hit him for 4. He's unconscious. I'm up. I better hit. Hit lands with a 2. My damage is 14. He's out. He's gone. All right. What were my magic items? I have a healing amulet. I'm going to give it to the orc to heal him up, and he'll be back in the fight. And I forget. Let's give him 8 hit points. He's back up. Garum is tied up and but fighting back. He's not able to damage them, but he's skirmishing out of the way. He could 4 cultists were keeping him down. 2, he's able to wiggle around and move. So I'll come up to one of them and hit and deal 13 damage, killing a cultist. And then the cultist will come at me. And with a 2, we're going to say not attack, but he will run away. Knowing that he's outnumbered, seeing that. And it said that they weren't willing to die needlessly, so I like that. So we have saved Garum. And with my healing amulet that I found, we are able to heal up the orc, my orc friend, my nameless orc friend, who just total mind fart, just completely spaced out there. My orc friend with the amulet healed them up. Okay. That was a once per day thing. I've got my forever torch. So let's see, the threat counter. Starting, if you suffer a significant delay, I'd say that went pretty fast. Maybe just because I talked fast. Create an opening for the threat through inaction or failure. Rotate the die advance by 1. No, but okay, how do we leave? Maybe we'll come up with a system here that since we're leaving, All right, I saw leaving the breach. If the path back to the chapel is clear, you may retreat from the breach without incident. If the way is fraught with dangers, roll awareness or sneaking to see how you fare. Okay, so we'll do this 6 times. All right. Yeah, we've got 3 orcs with 3, or we've got 2 orcs and me, and 3, what was it, goblins coming. So we'll sneak as best we can. We're just going to do a group sneak, which is maybe not fair, but that's what I'm doing. And maybe with my dexterity magic item that I have, even though they were gloves. Okay, let's sneak. It's a 12. Okay, I failed that one. All right, well, we're at goblins here. All right, another combat. We got to make it out of here. So let's just do group initiative. For the goblins, they have a 3. They're going to go first, and we rolled a 6. Okay. So let's go with a melee attacker. They are going to, on a d6 for 3, deal a blow. The NPC makes a melee attack, which is a d6, and I'll roll it. All right, they're going to hit my orc friend for 6, who's at 2. 6. Orc 6. Now down to 2. Orc that we saved. He will say he's pretty banged up, so he didn't get his full 15. He's at 10. And I think I'm at 9. All right. Then a goblin will come up and attack Garum and hit and deal 3. And a goblin will come up and get me and miss. Sweet. All right, our turn. Orc friend. Oh, another dragon. He's going to miss and lose his sword. Okay. Garum is up that we just found. He's going to miss. And now I'm up and I miss. Oh, shite. All right, back to the goblins. Let's see. Weapon. Let's go. I know I'm missing the willpower points and my special abilities. Hunting. Let's see. Activating the ability to start a combat round allows you to retain your initiative card. You can use the ability to designate a creature in sight or creature can catch a scent of as your prey. This counts as an action in combat. You can follow. Okay, I don't want that. And I don't know what abilities my orcs have, but those aren't really quite helping me. Oh, you know what? I forgot about the armor savings. Shoot, I am bad at this game. So, we'll say my orc friend was armored up. So, just completely making this up. Let's say he's at 5 instead of 2. And our new friend orc, let's say he's stripped of his armor. He doesn't have any. Okay. That works. So they are going to hit, and they roll a d6 for a maximum of 6. Well, the way I've been doing it, orc. Oh, with damage reduction, orc is, we'll say at 1. Orc friend, Garum, no reduction. He's at 6. I'll get hit, hit, and d6 4. I'm down to 5. We got 1 hit point, 6 hit points, and 5 hit points. All right, let's get these. Okay. Orc friend is going to hit, and with his damage, let's see if I can get lucky again. And Dragonbane Goblin. Dragonbane Goblin. Goblin, sweet. I bet you it's the same guy. Dragonbane fan or something. Mr. Dragonbane. Heck yeah. Oh my god, have low hit points. 9. All right, and I said he did 5. Shite. Okay. Goblin 1. Goblin 2. Goblin 3. Okay. 5. Garum. Miss. And I'll hit and deal 7, killing one of these goblins. All right. They're up. They're going to hit. And they're going to knock out Orc Friend. The second goblin is going to miss. So we're up. Garum is up. He's going to miss. I'm going to hit. And I'll deal 2d8. I'm going to deal 10 damage, killing an orc. So we got one goblin, I mean. This goblin, he's going to fight to the death, but he misses. Orc Friend is up. He's going to hit, and he's going to deal 7. And I'm up. I'm going to hit with my spear, and I'm going to deal 6. So orcs down. Threat eliminated. That was a fast combat. That's how combat should go. Whoops, hit the mic. All right. So, all the threats have been eliminated. I'll part ways with the orc and orc friends, and that is good standing for the new for Garum, who wasn't really well liked, making up that backstory, and sort of kind of gets him in with the cool kids for saving the orc friend, and I make it out. So let's go and read this again about leaving. I'm so low on health. I'm not scavenging. I'm not searching. I just need to get out of there. Where was leaving the breach? Here we go. If making a direct return trip is impossible or foolhardy, find a different route among the breach's many paths. Roll d4, blah, blah, blah. Gaining experience. As detailed in the rulebook, each time you roll a dragon or demon when using a skill, tick the checkbox next to that skill. Well, didn't do that. In addition, gain 5 advancement marks for skills of your choice when returning from a successful mission. This alternate reward replaces the standard system of advancement at the end of a session in group play. Make your advancement rolls between missions, rolling a d20 for each mark. As is standard, when you increase a skill to level 18, you gain a heroic ability of your choice. Okay, well, I'll read over the advantages of leveling up here, but I survived barely, but that's, I guess, what makes it fun, right? Taking a break. If you want to resupply, upgrade your gear, or socialize with someone other than Ingolfer, the village of Outskirt is a short journey from the chapel. All right, well, I'm gonna hang out with Ingolfer for a little bit, lick my wounds, and go from there. So I didn't get any gold, but I gave the healing amulet away, so let me cross that off. I have these dexterity gloves and a forever torch, so I could definitely sell those if I needed to for something. But okay, hey, there was mission 1 of solo Dragonbane. Thoughts? Very slow start understanding solo RPGs are not my strong suit. It's, as I've said many times, the reason for starting this podcast is to learn about solo RPGs. I will say that was fun. The tables, kind of wonky. Like, do I really care that it was an ancient tomb with raggedy scratches on it? I guess that's for me to, role play it. I like the looming threat. That's pretty cool. I made up, a story, a background of some orcs here. I like that it had inhabitants. I like the trap. That put a good twist into it. So I would say lots of good things. Lots of good things came from this. Definitely a good learning experience. And I'll put it on the list of possible maybe things to do another episode on. So there we go. Dragonbane, Mission 1 solo in the books. Thanks for checking out this episode of Roll Around Find Out. Keep being creative, and we'll see you in the next episode. Later.